Welcome to 100 Yards for Football this evening. I'm your host, Vincent Turner, and we got our NFL team preview as we're going to break down the San Francisco 49ers. So if you like the video, please come in and share it. And joining me, I can have a guy who can tell me all about the 49ers. He played against them 2 times back in his playing day. 2-time All-American out of Florida State with explosion. 12-year veteran with the Atlanta Falcons. Remember that when I'm saying he played 12 years in the league, and I don't know nobody that's playing 12 years right now in the National Football League. And he always let me know when I talk about speed across the country, when I'm talking about California, when I'm talking about Tennessee, when I'm talking about Arkansas, everything in the Southern Belt, he always explained to me, ain't nobody faster than South Florida. So my man, Mr. Bobby Butler, 12-year veteran for the Atlanta Falcons. How you doing this evening, sir?
I'm doing great, Vincent, man. It's good to see you today, man. I'm excited about the show today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, man, let's go on and talk about the San Francisco 49ers, man. What's the team preview? What's the outlook this year? And tell us about whether or not they're going to bounce back and be a playoff team.
Well, the San Francisco 49ers has been a great team in the NFC West over the past few years. Of course, two seasons ago, they were in the Super Bowl and lost a game to the Chiefs. And last year, just like most teams who lose in the Super Bowl, they never get a chance to go back the very next year. But this team is loaded. This team is stacked with talent. When we look at the offense, every room is good. I mean, the running back room is great. Raheem Mostert is the number one guy right now. You know, Jeff Wilson Jr. got hurt, but they drafted this rookie who was a monster in the playoffs last year in college playoffs, Mr. Trey Sermons. And I'm going to say something, Vincent. I'm going to go out on a limb and say something. The way that kid ran that ball last year with reckless and abandonment. He's big. He's strong. Listen, man, I would say before the end of the year, Trey Sermons will be the number one guy in that offense running that football.
Can I say something quickly, Brother Butler, about Mr. Trey Sermon?
Mm-hmm.
Warrior, come out to play.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He's a warrior. You know, I'm going to be honest with you, Vincent. You know, you and I both watch a lot of football. We have watched football over the years. And I've never seen anybody run the football with reckless abandonment like that since Earl Campbell back in the mid-'70s.
Yes, sir.
And Earl Campbell will put the fear of God in most people. And so I'm looking, man, listen, he's going to be a good addition to those teams. You know, a lot of times when you draft, they had a couple running backs already. You know, they've had a 2-back system. You know, Tevin Campbell left, a couple guys left. But, you know, with Raheem and with Jeff Wilson, hey, man, they were 1 and 2. They still getting it done. And they drafted this monster.
Yes,
it's going to be a beautiful thing. Now, here's the exciting thing. You know, they drafted Trey Lance with the 3rd pick in the first round. We know there's been talk about Jimmy Garoppolo, getting him out, all this kind of stuff, right? Well, we know with the investment that they made with Trey Lance, he is the future for the 49ers. He's going to get every opportunity to make that happen. I pray that he does. But here's the thing that concerns me, right? Now, we know he's going to be a true rookie. You know, everybody who just come out of college is not ready for the big time like that.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's not ready. And I hope, you know, they give him time. I hope they don't rush this. I hope if Jimmy is playing well, just let him ride, let the young man learn, let him sit, let him get anxious, and help get him prepared for the future, right? Because this team right now is predicted to win 10, 11 ball games this year, right? You know, offense, they're great. You know, the running back room is great. You know, the wide receiver group, Deebo Samuels, what? You know, Brandon Ayuk, what? Hey, by the way, he had a great rookie year last year out of Arizona State. And then you look at newly acquired Mohamed Sanu. Hey, listen, man, that's a bona fide wide receiver room right there. And then we all know in George Kittle's, they got the best tight end, the one best tight end in the league today, right? And they're good up front. They're good up front. So their offense is going to be the way to roll. If there's no controversy, We'll have Prince singing. Dun, 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 dun. So they gotta be able to be above that. That's gonna be the key now, because drama always starts when a new guy come in and there's an old guy there. We saw it in Green Bay last year, right? Yeah, that thing is still funky, right? Right. Mm-hmm. And so they gotta be careful with that. They gotta make sure they handle that right. But here's the other thing I like. They got one of the best defenses in the National Football League.
Ain't no question about it.
Their defense is stout. You know, with Nick Bosa returning, listen, Nick Bosa, is the best edge rusher in the game. Now, we got some bad boys in the league edge rushing, but edge rushing, there's nobody better than Nick Bosa, right? And then you got Fred Warner, who's the best off-the-ball linebacker in the NFL.
Elite.
At another level, right? And so on defense, they've got one concern. That's the secondary. They're young, and if Jason Verrett goes down because, he hasn't been durable, he's always hurt. They need him to be out there. And if he goes down, that's going to be their Achilles heel. But here's a good thing, Vincent. I love this, right? Remember, we always talk about as long as you got people up front, it don't matter who's in the back.
Yes, sir.
People up front, I don't care who's in the secondary. When you watch the Giants of old, you can't name but one person in the secondary. And the only reason you can name it because you're from Atlanta. That's Terry Kennard, who played at Clemson, right? The free safety.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You can't name a corner. Matter of fact, they have a corner.
Here we go.
His name was Toast Patterson, and he answered to it.
Yes, sir.
What corner going to answer Toast because he get burned all the time? What?
Yes, sir.
So I'm saying they're so good up front, it's going to help them in the secondary. And I think they're going to be fine. But here's my final word. The 49ers predicted to win 10-11 ball games. But like I said, it's going to be based on that quarterback situation, how it goes. Will Jimmy come out firing, trying to keep the job, to keep the young man on the bench? Or if he throw a couple of picks and not play well, everybody in the stands in the front office is going to be calling for his job? How's his teammates going to handle it? So it's a lot of things that factor into this. So what they got to do is to make sure that they close their ears to the chatter. They close their ears to what the media is saying in the paper. And they got to focus on 49ers. And they got to do what they do. And they got to stay together as a unit. And if they stay together as a unit, hey, they're going to be tough to handle. But remember also, Vincent, they are playing in the NFC West. And Russell Wilson ain't playing in the NFC West. Right?
Yes, sir.
And young Tyler, Tyler ain't playing out there in Arizona, right? Kyler Murray. Hey, and they just added AC Green to their roster. So the NFC West is going to be a great division this year. It's going to be explosive, right? Got a new quarterback in LA. It's going to be explosive, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Brother Butler, you brought it today with the excitement. But, man, when I think about the 49ers, you brought up Go Dogs. Matthew Stafford is now in L.A. He's playing Super Bowl with Sean McVay.
Yes.
But I'm going to keep it short and sweet here on 100 Yards Football. When I look at the 49ers, and Brother Butler, I'm not going to go back, but I'm looking at John Lynch, the GM, and Kyle Shanahan. And they took a quarterback. And I'm not taking anything away from Trey Lance. I like the measurable 6'4", 235, whatever, 242, looks like a tight end, runs like a wind. But he played in North Dakota State and only played in one game. They gave up 3 number ones to move in that spot.
That's right.
To me, I hope they're not like the band war. I hope they're not sleeping in the darkness.
Right.
Because how do you then go and get that young man from Kennesaw?
That's right.
He went 22 or 28 against Clemson.
Right?
Just ran a 4-4.
That's right.
They putting everything on Trey Lance. And then with Jimmy Garoppolo, can he stay healthy? I think he's a good quarterback, that Italian stallion, but he's missed 23 out of 48 games.
That's right.
So to me, like you said, they got the football team. Stack D-line.
Yes, sir.
Like you said, Mr. Bozer, but we ain't missing Mr. Umstead from Oregon.
Oh,
And
yes.
we ain't mentioned that young man that came out of South Carolina that was homeless, man, the name of Javon Kinlaw.
That's right.
Then, Brother Butler, you kind of disrespected the University of Tennessee. You need to give that undrafted free agent, Emmanuel Mosley, some love, because he came out of nowhere and he was a nickelback on the Super Bowl team. He's a warrior. Warriors come out to play.
That's right.
So when you're looking at Frisco, all I'm asking, Brother Butler, is that the quarterback position, Justin Fields, to me, would have been a perfect fit. But hey, everything is going to be really relying on that because, like you said, Trey Sermon is going to be the beast. Them other guys, I'm not even going to remember their name.
Right.
And they got the premier left tackle in the game, Boomer Sooner, out of the University of Oklahoma, Trent Williams. So this is a very stacked team. But one question I want to ask you. Okay. You look at this 49ers organization, and it looks like the York family is running it real well. What is it about this organization? And you played against some great teams back in the 80s, and they still are able to draft well and still bring up players that can play at a high level and still get to the Super Bowl. What is it going out there in San Francisco that you've seen over the years that makes this organization so special?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. When you go back in the old day, right, let's go back to the foundation when Eddie DeBartolo became the youngest owner in 1977 when he was 30 years old out of Youngstown, Ohio, right?
Yes, sir.
And what he did, and here's the thing, he was a young cat, right? But he built great relationships with the players. And so, it was nothing to find Eddie DeBartolo out in a restaurant having dinner with people like Joe Montana, with people like Dwight Clark, with people like Freddie Solomon. He's just hanging. And one thing I can tell you about that group, they love Eddie DeBartolo. I read a statement once with Randy Cross. Randy Cross was an all-pro offensive guard. He lives in Atlanta now. And he said he'll walk through a fire for Eddie DeBartolo. Keena Turner made a statement and said, not only did he make me a better player, but he made me a better man. So they had a relationship with this guy, and they would do anything for him, right? And so that's really the what they do well. They treat their players right. If you treat the subordinates right, they're going to respect you, and they're going to always go the extra mile for you. And that's an important ingredient that's missing. A lot of times, when you get in ownership and management, they look down on the players, right? They run the show, they're the businessman, but you need to build relationships with those guys. And if you do, you'll find guys who, when they're free agents, they may sign for a little less to stay home. You understand what I'm saying, Vincent? And so that's what they do. I mean, they really work with their guys. They befriend them. They treat them with honor and respect. And it's a family environment. And when you got that, brother, great things going to happen.
Final words about the 49ers in 2021.
They're going to be a great team. I'm excited to see them play because, like I say, a couple of years ago, they were right there in the Super Bowl, right? And so I know they want to get back there now. Last year was a different kind of year, the pandemic. They're gonna come back and do their thing. And so, I'm excited, and I'm excited to see that whole division out there. It's brother, they're going to be swinging blows out there. Kyler Murray, all right? Bruh, it's going to be great. That's going to be great football out there, and you got Russell Wilson and that. Boy, it's going to be good. I'm excited. So, yeah, I think this will be a good year for them. They got the capability of going all the way. Just a matter of them, getting it done.
My final words about the San Francisco 49ers is even thank you to Brother Butler with his outstanding analysis. Remember, people out there, the guy played the game for 12 years. It ain't too many people walking around right now on the streets that can't even mention that. It's a reason for that. When I'm looking at special talent and greatness. My final words about the San Francisco 49ers. I was hoping they'd take Justin Fields with the 3rd pick overall in the draft because I thought he fit what they've done at a high level. So, with the great band coming out of California, they had that song out. It said, well, well, well. I was slipping into the darkness when he took away my friend. The great group War. I
Yes,
hope
sir.
the San Francisco 49ers didn't make that mistake taking Trey Lance over Justin Fields. If you like the video today, please come in and share it. Before I end it, always, I need to give kudos to one of the best producers in social media on any level. He's from out of the great state where I was born in, Memphis, Tennessee, but he comes from the eastern part. He's from Oak Ridge, Tennessee. My man, Mr. Jeremiah Long. I wouldn't be where I'm at doing this at a high level. Thank you. And thank you to Brother Butler. And please come in and share it if you like the preview of the San Francisco 49ers this evening. God bless and have a wonderful evening. We are 100 yards of football.